Tuesday morning by the wall, and all the families are missing this time around. All the bar mitzvahs are over with. Considering that this is the place where three different religions converge, we have to go through quite a security rigmarole to get in here. These are things that are confiscated before going into the Temple Mount. Oddly enough, we're all keeping our phones, so it's not like you can keep this out. To be fair, the security team here is cordial enough, but it's a tense world and it's a tense place. As with so many other places here, we have a model of what things might have looked like back in the day. This is what the temple complex is supposed to have been. There is a walkway that goes into the Temple Mount, but it's strictly for Muslims. We are in a temporary structure that has existed for half a century for us tourists to come in. Christian, Jews, whatever. From here we can see some of the activity at the western wall, the Wailing Wall, if you will. While the Temple Mount contains two mosques, Al-Aqsa in this direction and the Dome of the Rock behind me, the entire Temple Mount is considered to be one great big mosque. And as it so happens, the Muslims have a tradition not unlike that of the mikvah, where they wash their hands and feet and behind their ears in order to purify themselves for worship. Now, I mention this about the entire complex being a mosque because on Fridays or in the month of Ramadan, this area would be off limits to us. And from here I bring greetings from what three different religions consider to be the center of the world. Jerusalem, the Dome of the Rock, the Muslims, the original place of the temple for Jews and Christians. This is over Mount Moriah, the point at which Abraham is said to have sacrificed Isaac according to Jews and Christians, and Ishmael according to the Muslims, thereby making it a holy place for all Abrahamic religions. Every time I come here, there's a new story added to the ones I already have heard. We've mentioned how Queen Helen, Constantine's mother, came here to the Holy Land to identify the places where Jesus walked, where he was born, where he supposedly died, where he was buried and raised. And one of the interesting things about this particular place where the temple was is that she didn't do here what was done in many of the other places. Rather than putting up a church here, although she did identify a pagan temple to Zeus and several of the other Hellenic deities, she decided to tear it down and leave the place as a trash dump, in keeping with Jesus' own prophecy that not one stone would be left on top of another. So this particular place between the destruction of the temple and the building of the Mosque of Omar, or the Dome of the Rock, it lay fallow as a trash pile. A strange ending for the location of the temple and the most holy place on earth as defined by all three Abrahamic religions. And yet, in a way, it's somewhat fitting. Not so much the trash dump, perhaps, but the fact that it was left alone. This was no longer the Sanctum Sanctorum, the Holy of Holies. The temple veil was torn with the crucifixion. God was not confined to that one little room. Even Solomon acknowledged that there was no room, no building, not even the earth itself could contain God and his glory. But all the more so now that the price has been paid by Christ, there is no need to wall God off from all of us. He is no longer in one little room. He is in everyone's heart that accepts him. This is a place of significance, no doubt. Historical, religious, what have you. But it is no longer the only place where God can be found. Meanwhile, some things are still here from the days of Jesus. The floors that we're walking on were set in place by Herod the Great when he basically expanded the Temple Mount complex. Some of this was here before as part of the original temple, simply to give a flat plain to build the temple upon, but it extends for quite some distance all the way out to the southern wall behind me. There's some dispute as to whether Solomon's portico was in the north or the south, but of course we know that the mikvahs are located on the southern side, so it might have been a bit of a walk had it happened on the north side of the complex. On the other hand, that would certainly have been plenty of room for them to move across, and it's not like anybody could stand in the way of a throng of 3,000 people. A little more commentary here. These arches define the boundary between the Temple Mount, as was built on by Solomon, and where Herod extended the temple area when he rebuilt, or basically remodeled, Zerubbabel's temple. He wanted something going all the way out. So beyond here is his own artificial addition to the place. And upon that, the Al-Aqsa Mosque is located. Now apparently this place is prone to earthquakes. The Al-Aqsa Mosque has been destroyed 3 times, or heavily damaged rather. One might say that God was telling somebody something, but if you refuse to listen to him, well, that's how things go. Interestingly enough, there is only one way to enter the Temple Mount if you're not Muslim, but you can leave by any means there is. So we're leaving by a different route and going into the old city. I guess they're more willing to let us leave than let us come in.